Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be taking a look at the first two new Infinite Legions figures. Now, starting off with Pheyden, we can see that he comes in a window box packaging done in a similar throwback to that original O'Neill packaging. And if we turn the box around, some really cool artwork and a short bio for Pheyden. And the same thing with Phanost, similar window box packaging with slightly different colors, and if we turn it around, more really cool artwork and a short bio. So with the boxes out of the way, let's go ahead and crack these figures open and let them breathe. Now this is Pheyden. For us long-time Glyos collectors, and even you newer cats, this is the beginning of Glyos for us, and this was the first main character, Pheyden the Traveler, traveling time and space. This character is so iconic in the world of Glyos. I love him so much. I'm just so glad that we're seeing these crazy updates, but it's really cool starting from here, and Pheyden came in so many different colorways over the years. I mean, this is just a few, but there are just endless colorways that this figure came in, and I love all of them. I know so many people collect every Pheyden possible, which is super cool. So again, this is just a very iconic figure. And then not that long ago, we received this, the Infinite Pheyden. Now this is a upgrade from that classic Pheyden, all Glyos compatible, sculpted by the Four Horsemen. Infinite Pheyden here just looks so rad. This has become one of my favorites. The sculpt is just gorgeous, very much reminiscent of what we're about to see here, but again, Glyos compatible, everything you're going to want for a very cool Glyos figure. But now we have this. Oh my god. You guys do not understand how happy this genuinely makes me, just having this figure in hand. Again, seeing the evolution here from that vintage Glyos Pheyden to the Infinite Pheyden to this Infinite Legions, it is insane, dude. Like, again, for us Glyos collectors, I'm so passionate personally for Glyos and Glyos creators and all the, and to me it's just art. I love that. These are just articulated art, and this just mind-blowing to me. And of course, having that Cosmic Legions like base body, I just love that sculpt is so incredible to me. And then seeing bits of like Ox Crew in there, mixed with like new parts like these shoulder pads, the chest piece, of course, the head sculpt. The phase arm is amazing. I can't believe we have a phase arm in this scale. That is so cool. But the detail is honestly just mind-blowing, especially that subtle bit of wash that you see kind of like running through the panel lining of the figure, kind of like on the head sculpt and things like that. All throughout looks so good, and like even seeing it on camera really just does not do this thing justice because it is so beautifully sculpted, man. This cool new belt here, the gloves look awesome. Again, those tusk legs, all that texture, and you kind of see, maybe you can pick it up on camera here, but the paint here has a little bit of a shimmer to it, so it looks a little more metallic. I think that's super awesome, but these legs are insane. I love the designs of these kind of like screws that kind of like hold everything in place, almost like these piston heels back here. That looks really cool too. All the paintwork all the way through the back. Oh my god, some tread on the feet, some jumper boots right there. That's really cool. But again, that phase arm looks amazing. These new shoulder pads all look incredible. These forearms are just so good. Everything about this, that just, again, iconic Pheyden head is just beautiful, man. Like, again, I'll bring in the original Pheyden just to see where it all started, all the way up to this newer one. It's super cool, and I'll bring in the Infinite Pheyden here. So these, again, to me are absolutely iconic. It feels surreal to me, again, as a Glyos collector, that this is something we can own now. It's cool, dude. Like, and it's still like modular in its own way, not completely Glyos, but we do have some Glyos compatibility here, and I'll show you guys that shortly. But it's just crazy to me that this is a real thing I'm owning. Like, I'm almost emotional about it, honestly, because I love Glyos. I love the Glyos community. The Glyos community has been so good to me. And again, the Legions community is amazing. So many cool people I've met through there. Like, so it's really cool seeing those two worlds kind of collide and give us this beautiful action figure. He is amazing, man. I'm just super happy to actually own this thing. Now I'm going to bring in the Phanost here. This thing is amazing. Now, it's funny, I was just thinking to myself, like, man, I really wish we had like a purple Cosmic Legions figure, because I've been playing on my Cosmic Legions a lot lately, and I was like, man, we really need a purple one. And this is pretty much the closest thing we're gonna get, at least anytime soon that I know of like a purple Cosmic Legion. Again, utilizing those beautiful parts from the, again, the Tusk to the Ox crew, and then obviously the new parts for Infinite here. But we got that new head sculpt, the Krang head sculpt, as I like to call it. But this looks amazing, dude. He's just all brain, dude. Even his like neck is all brain. I love the white eyes, that darker pink wash in there. I'm not sure how they did that, or maybe it's a overbrushing, and that darker, or that, I don't know, brighter pink on the inside of those cracks and seams there is the more natural color of the sculpt. I'm not really sure, but either way, it looks awesome, dude. And then just these colors, dude. Look at this really cool, like, I don't know, magenta-like color. And again, it has almost like a pearlescent sheen to it. Makes it look nice and sparkly and shiny. I love almost that like flat grayish black color that we're seeing mixed in throughout. Again, those legs are just, oh my god, the sculpt is amazing, dude. I love the design here. I just want to look at it. Is that okay? I just want to just look and see all the details, like this, like gunmetal silver right here for parts like this, even the little rivets and things like that throughout the figure. You know what I mean? You got some purple in the like glove right there. That phase arm looks incredible. Love the colors of the armor and the shoulder pads. I mean, this thing is mind-blowing, dude. And again, you guys have to see these in hand, because, you know, seeing all the pictures to the build of the release, you know, once they showed these things to us, I was like, wow, those look incredible. But once they even got them in hand, they were so much more impressive. And I just love them so much, man. Again, it just feels weird to actually own these. And I have an Infinite Legions here. It's not the exact same colorway, but fairly close. And it has the Phanost head like that, which looks really cool. Or I believe this is a anti-Pheyden, right? But closest thing right there with those colors, you know, I think that looks really cool too. So again, it's really cool seeing Glyos and Legions like this, kind of like crossing paths, you know what I mean? So I love this, man. It's just so cool to me. I'm going to need these figures in so many different more colors. Again, us Glyos guys, we love the same figure in, you know, 100+ different colorways. Why not for these? Again, I love the Tusk figure. I want the Tusk figure in every colorway possible. So the same thing with the Infinite Pheyden here and the Phanost. This is just incredible, man. I'm just so impressed by these. Now, as I go over accessories, I want to show a little something here with the phase arm. This thing does come apart in sections, which again is totally on par with Infinite Legions and things like that. The modularity, this piece comes out right here, the little lens. So I'm guessing you could like customize that with an LED if you want, so that's really cool. But I noticed this little piece right here, the little slot, this like vertical rectangular slot right there. And then I kind of remember things like the heavy gunner, where the tip of the gun, it has that kind of same shape. So I took that, and you could pop that in there like so. If you want to do something like that, that's really cool. If you want to have something like that, mine's a little loosey-goosey. Actually, that fits a little better. Maybe I just had it upside down. That looks really cool. If you want to do something like that, you could take that off. And then I have that big like drill or jackhammer type of accessory there too. So if you want to do something like that, I think that works out great. So very cool. I feel like they have plans for this piece down the road for something else, but again, I think that works out so freaking cool. Then both figures come with the same type of interchangeable hands. So we got things like standard gripping hands for both figures. We do get more open like palm hands for both figures, which is cool as well. You notice the 3 fingers and then the thumb like that. That's really cool too. Then we actually get trigger fingers, which is awesome. I'm glad they included these. These figures don't really come with guns or any other weapons outside of their phase arms. But you know, for those of us that have just a ton of like Cosmic Legion weapons, this is cool. You can pop one of those guns in there if you really like, and it works perfectly. So I think that's super cool. Would also really like, since if you don't want the phase arm, you can get the normal forearm and pop a hand in there, and then just replace that. Then you can have 2 normal forearms, which I think works out great again. So if you don't want the phase arm, you can go more that standard route if you really want to. So if you take off that chest armor, we can see the more standard tusk armor underneath, and that is because you can fill it with this like turbine center chest piece like that, which is really cool. And you do get 2 of these, which I think is awesome. Always down for extra parts here. But one thing I did notice with these, the backs are different, so I'm not really fully sure what these are specifically for. I mean, they both can fit into the chest. This one does have the little groove at the top to fit in there a little more perfectly, but this one's just a perfect cylinder around that, so maybe you can use for different things as well, but you can use them for both of the chests. So if this is for something completely different, just let me know, because they're like almost the same thing, which is really cool. Again, I like the fact that we got 2, but I feel like they could be used for different options, and with all the ports and things like that, I'm sure you can figure out some other way to use them. Now, taking a look at some of the other head sculpt, we have this really cool scarred Pheyden. I love how we have like the white in the eye over here, but the other eye over here is just all blacked out, and you can see like his helmet almost like cracked open, that kind of like, again, scarred look. I think that looks so rad, and again, I've always just loved the Pheyden's head sculpt, where it's like a alien skull-like kind of thing. It just looks super cool, and I love that scarred look right there. And then we have this really sweet anti-Pheyden here with just that bone-like look, with those pink eyes look incredible. You can see the mouth there where he has like these crazy gnarly looking teeth. And then the paintwork on there just looks so good with that darker wash over there. That airbrushing technique over that just looks so good. The head sculpts on all of these are awesome, dude. I just love the fact that we have all these options, you know, because if you're like me, I did buy multiples of these figures, so I would like to have them displayed in different ways, and especially with all those different head options, I mean, you get a lot of use out of all of these. And lastly, for this guy, we also do get that Sarvos head, which we saw on the Glyos Infinite Pheyden. Man, this design is incredible. I love just how sleek it looks. It looks very aerodynamic. The mouth section, the eyes, all that panel lining going back. Again, a little bit of a shading technique back there with those bits of black. All look awesome. This is a fantastic head sculpt, and again, just having all the options, man, I love it so much. They're all so good, and I really want to display them all. And then the last option for this guy, Pheyden doesn't come with a collar piece, so it just pegs onto the back of the neck like you see with a lot of Legion's parts. Then you can take that, and then I'll take just the more standard Pheyden head, pop that on, and that gives us a whole different look there. It almost has like this matted arms, like kind of armor shield that he has around his like mouth and face area, kind of like that type of vibe. But that's awesome, man. It gives a really cool look to the head where the eyes are just peeking over that collar, so I love that. Again, I'll bring in the original Pheyden here. That collar thing goes back all the way, dude, with that original collar kind of going over that, giving us, again, that same look. And it's the same thing with that Infinite Pheyden with a collar like that, too. So it's really cool, just, again, seeing the evolution, seeing this just like, I don't know if you want to call it an upgrade, I say a glow up. It is so awesome, dude, and I really do. I get emotional, man, because I love Glyos. I love everything that the Four Horsemen have been doing, and this is just super cool, dude. I'm so happy. I'm just really happy. And then for Phanost, I did put on that anti-Pheyden head, and the colors on this are crazy. They're not quite black, but they have that really deep purple color to them with almost, I'm not sure if the eyes are completely white. They have like a little bit of maybe yellow hue to that white there, but you can see the little fade of the teeth like that, and the colors look really cool. And this head sculpt, again, just very skull-like, looks so awesome, so I do love that a lot. And then the last head sculpt for this guy is going to be that Sarvos head, and we are cooking, dude. Again, I love that Sarvos head, but in these colors, oh my, like look at that. That is crazy cool. All the black in there, again, that almost like panel lining going throughout the back like that, with that almost like magenta, like purple, just looks so good. And with that shimmer on there, the black of the lens of the eyes, that mouthpiece, oh my god, like for me, that might be the way I go with this guy. He just looks so freaking dope to me. Okay, now I wanted to talk a bit about Glyos compatibility here. So I want to bring in some of the head sculpts that are actually Glyos compatible in here that I put on the Infinite Pheyden here, that translucent blue. that came with the Phanost here. It looks super awesome, very alien-like, very Cosmic Legions-like, which is super cool. I love that it's Glyos compatible. You can put it on a Glyos figure, which is super awesome. And then the pink one I put on the what we call the Pink Lemonade Infinite Pheyden here. The pinks don't exactly match up, but again, it still looks pretty cool. Again, I love that alien head, again, from Cosmic Legions, done in Glyos capability, which is super awesome. What I also think is really cool, we do get these ports on things like the forearms here, so you can actually take these heads and have them make it look like they're projecting from the forearms there. I think that's really awesome, so I think that just turned out really, really cool. But I want to do some other things with these guys. Again, these are part of the Glyos world, and I wanted to see what else we can do. And of course, you could do pretty much infinite things when it comes to Glyos, and no pun intended. But we got things like, I made this here. This is a part of an armory set from Spy Monkey Creations, where I built this little like saber like thing. It's like a plasma saber, almost like a lightsaber thing, which looks really cool. You can plug it into the port there. I love that a lot. I mean, you could even like take this blade off right here. Again, this is just the part of the Glyos system, and you could just add this to the forearm like there, and then you have almost like a wrist blaster if you want to do something like that. That's super cool. Or there's this other little blade piece that you could attach to that. Let me fix this, get that like that, and then pop that on there if you want to do something like this. So you have that blade like that, or maybe even flip this around, maybe like that way, do something like this. You know what I mean? So again, you have options when it comes to certain things, especially Glyos, dude. I mean, you can do freaking anything with Glyos. I have this like a little like axe piece you can plug into there if you want to do something like that, which I think turned out really good. I mean, you can make blasters, you know, if you want to have those. You know, we do have trigger finger hands, and those will fit in the hands, which I think is super dope. I made this little weapon right here with like double blades. Again, they can hold that in the gripping hand. These are just like in perfect scale too. I'll leave a link in the bio for Spy Monkey, because I believe they still have some of this stuff in stock. And again, they're modular. You could build your own types of weapons, which is really cool. So I do love that a lot. And then we have this crazy like shield thing that I put together. This also works. So like, let's put it on this guy right here. Pop that in there, and it fits perfectly on the forearm if you want to do that. Again, all these blades come off. You can put different things on there, spin them around. This, you know, red orb comes off, and you can do something with that. So I just wanted to show off some of the Glyos capability things you could do with this guy. I think it's super awesome that those all fit. I love that a lot. And then kind of like one thing I wanted to show off too, I'm gonna go ahead and pop off that head and that collar, because I really wanted to see what this skull head looks like for some reason. I don't know, I just wanted to see how that looks on there, and I think that looks so dope, dude. Doesn't that look cool? I actually think that works really, really cool on the Pheyden. I love that, and I've always been trying to figure out what to do with the silver and gold head sculpt, like skull head sculpt, and I think that works, dude. That looks pretty badass. So just go over the basic articulation here. The head's on a ball peg, rolls around, does go left and right, looks up pretty far, down pretty far. There's a swivel at the base of the neck since it's interchangeable. The shoulder pads can move out of the way, which is really nice. So you can get these up and out to the side like that, rotate, elbow, rotate, hinge, swivel. Glove can rotate like that. Swivel and hinge at the wrist, which is really good. You have that ball peg in the midsection right here, so that's really cool too. The belt is a separate piece. The legs at the hips can hinge forward that much, back pretty far. They can do the Van Damme splits about that far all the way out. That's very, very good. You got a single bend at the knee there. Those ankles can hinge back and forth like that. We do get some really good pivot, and then the toes do articulate with those ox crew feet there. So this is just awesome, dude. Again, I'm so in love. I love the world of Glyos. Again, I've said this many times. I'm a big Glyos collector. I'm a big Glyos lover. I am a big Glyos reviewer. If you guys have been following my channel, I've reviewed a ton of Glyos over the years. But I also really love Legions, man. And the Legions community has been very warm and welcoming. The Glyos community is just one of the best toy communities ever. And again, just seeing these worlds collide feels so surreal to me. These figures just make me happy. They make me feel like a giant kid. I'm very, very much, I feel very warm being around the Glyos and the Legions community. And again, I'm getting kind of choked up and I don't know why, but these mean a lot to me. I think they're incredible. So thank you, Matt Dowdy, for creating the Glyos world. Thank you to the Four Horsemen for making some badass action figures, man, because these are both super impressive and, in my opinion, a definite must get. So for a quick size comparison, here they are standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here they are standing next to a McFarlane Spawn and Storm Collectibles Ermac. And for some Legions comparison, here they are standing next to a couple Cosmic Legion figures. Here they are standing next to a couple Mythic Legions figures. Here's Pheyden standing next to a couple of his predecessors. Here's Phanost standing next to a couple Infinite Phaydens. And just for funsies, here they are with Abelardo. So there it is, guys, my look at the new Infinite Legions Pheyden and Phanost. Now I'm gonna need these in a million colorways because I am just so happy that these things exist. It's really cool just over the years seeing the evolution of Glyos, where it's going, all the new fans, and you know, just bringing a community together. Again, I love the Glyos community. They have been so good to me for so long and meeting so many friends, and it's really cool to see this evolution to where we are now with the Four Horsemen and giving us Infinite Legions. Seeing those like old school Glyos designs and updated with things like this is incredible. I love the Tusk and Ox Crew sculpts. They're some of the best sculpting figures I've ever seen, and kind of seeing those matched up with that kind of Glyos vibe too, being the Pheyden heads and the phase arm and things like that. It's just mind-blowing to me that these things freaking exist. The colorways of both the Pheyden and Phanost are awesome. I love the color choices here. Again, I'm gonna need so many freaking more colorways of both of these figures. They are amazing. I love the fact that you can actually have a little bit of a Glyos capability thing or compatibility thing here. I think that's super cool and a lot of fun. Again, I will leave a link in the bio for things like Spy Monkey Creations and pick up some of their armory sets that are in scale with these. Those will be a lot of fun for you guys. So again, I hope you pick both of these up. They are amazing and they are definitely a must get for me, and I think they will look great on your Legion shelf. So don't forget to be excellent to each other and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.